So I know that you're used to all kinds of different things in COVID, and it's been a while maybe since you've served as a volunteer in the hub, but I just wanted to thank you so much and just give you kind of a glimpse into like remembering what it's like to serve in the hub. So as you think about what it's like to walk in these doors and you're used to seeing students over here playing video games and eating donuts over here. We haven't brought donuts back just yet, but I'm sure we will soon. We've got the ping pong table here. We've got the Wii in the back, and you're used to this room being kind of a relational time, some ping pong. Andy Alvarado schooled me this week, by the way, totally embarrassed me. You're used to coming in here and you know, you've got the social distance scenario and all that. Here's why I'm shooting this video. I want to remind you what it's like to walk in this room, because when we walk in this room and we have this opportunity to serve students, there's something very important that can happen in here, and I want to make sure that you know how to connect with students when you walk in, because we're going to be talking a lot over the next several weeks and probably months about what it's like to engage with students relationally. So I want to talk to you for just a couple seconds about 8 ways. Let me put you right up here. 8 ways that we connect to students. The first way that you can connect with students is just to listen. I know it's easy. I think it's obvious. Maybe you're thinking like, well, yeah, for sure. But sometimes we walk through these doors and we're not walking in with like intentionality. We're walking in with like, okay, I'm gonna serve, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna leave in an hour and meet back up with my family, get ready for lunch or go to service or whatever. And sometimes with teenagers, and maybe especially like post-COVID teenagers, we need to be listening for what they're not saying. We need to be reading between the lines, so to speak. So if you're coming back next week referring to what they said last week, what that means is you're paying attention and they are realizing that someone cares. The second way that you can connect with students is to remember their stories. This means that we remember their prayer requests and we bring them back up before they do. This is one of those ways that we can show up in their lives and make sure that they feel like they're cared for, that they're remembered. This is crucial, and honestly, every human needs this. The third way that we can connect with students is to hang out with them. So again, one of the things that maybe you're tempted to do when you walk in is that you walk in and maybe you connect with other adults. You're catching up on the week. Hey, how was football practice? How's this week been at work? And the idea here is that we don't want to talk to each other as much as we want to connect with students. And so if you're a husband and wife serving team, break up and maybe guy connect with guys, girl connect with girls. That could be an awesome opportunity. But the goal is definitely to connect with them, hang out with them, be in the mix. The fourth is honestly really close to the third, and that we don't sit in the back. We don't connect with students when we sit in the back. I want you to be, again, in the mix. If there's 3 rows, I don't want there to be 2 rows of students and 1 row of adults in the back. I want adults intermingled. And listen, let me just go ahead and say it this way. Students are awkward. If you sit right next to them, they'd be maybe like, they may even scoot down a chair, and I want you to just embrace it. I want you to smile and be like, what's going on? Do I smell? Did I not put on deodorant? What's up? Like, I just wanted to hang out with you. Like, embrace it. Understand that teenagers are funny sometimes, but we're here to serve them and we want to be with them relationally. The fifth way that you can connect with students is to laugh. Just laugh. Just enjoy that time with them. When you laugh at their jokes, when you are, just having fun with them. I can remember those moments where some of those youth leaders in my life when I was a teenager would joke around with me about my teenager stuff, and it felt like they were on my level. And truthfully, we all know that we're slightly more mature than teenagers at this point, but the idea here is just to be relatable and to be incarnational, to be in the flesh, like Jesus was with people. I mean, Jesus was so high and lofty, and he condescended to come down to earth, but then to spend time with people, like at their dinner table, he got on their level. And so we want to do that. And so laugh with them. The sixth way you can connect with students is to not lead with politics. To not lead with politics. I know we're beyond the election and we're on to the next thing, and there's always going to be something in the news cycle that you are paying attention to and that you care about, but maybe the bigger idea here is this. It's not that we're asking you to cut off your conviction for a need for truth, and that's not what we're after here. What we are after here is we don't want you to bring something in and lose your influence because you throw out some divisive rhetoric, what you heard on this news channel or that news or out of the president's mouth or whatever it was. You may lose them, before you ever have the chance to influence them. And so maybe don't lead with politics. The goal here is just to make sure that you ease in gently, relate with them, get in the mix and all that stuff. But when you come in with, I'm not wearing a mask and I'm not voting, that's not my president, and it's just not a good look. The seventh way that you can connect with students is to prep for your lesson before you walk in the door. This means everything from your points. You've studied, you know how to deliver the message. If you've got some sort of visual aid, you may have shown up early to prepare that in the room. If it's cutting, the cutting's done on Saturday, not on Sunday in the hub. If there's something that you need from me, some video example, I would love to put that together and have it ready for you. In order to get that done, honestly, it helps if you do it before Thursday so that I can get the technology set, and I want to be able to assist you in any way possible. If you need help with an example, reach out. But the goal here is this. You show up to the teaching time prepared to teach, but you also have that connection time. And so sometimes if we lose some of that connection time because we're busy prepping, we don't do the relational work, and then you show up and there's just this cold kind of teacher. And so we want to make sure that we show up prepped, ready. We walk in the door ready for teaching or for connection or whatever it is. The eighth and last thing, and by far not the least important, is that we lead with relational care. At the end of the day, what we want is adults who care about students and adults who want to connect with students. And so the goal here is for you to walk in, to remember names, to remember stories, to help them, to guide them. When there seems like there's a student sitting by themselves, we lead with relational care by sitting next to them and asking them how they're doing. When there's a student who seems like maybe they're not sitting with their normal group of friends, maybe there's a break there that can be very awkward, we go and we spend time with them. The goal is to lead with relational care. To sum it all up, you're gonna hear from me over and over that the goal is we wanna show up in their lives. And what it means to show up in their life is to care. And in order to care, you know that you've got to show up with intentionality and purpose. So I hope this video has been an encouragement to you, and that maybe you can remember these 8 things, or maybe even just really kill it at one of them next time you serve in the hub. Thank you so much for the ways you serve our students.